Good afternoon everybody, I hope you're well. Catch up with me today next to this intimate stretch of the Avon. I've been fishing on and off recently, not been down here for a few weeks, so I thought I'd pop back down this evening. I had a free evening and the weather was supposed to be chucking it down with rain, but they've reeled it right back in. They said we might get some thundery showers, but it doesn't look very thundery to me, but it's very, very muggy and close, which is what prompted me to come really. I fancied doing something a little bit different, which is why I've come to this particular swim here. It's usually good for some chub in this swim, so what I thought I'd do is a bit of trotting. However, not with my usual setup. What I've brought with me today is my Advanta 13-foot 3-piece float rod and my Advanta Centrepin. Going to do a little bit of trotting with the Centrepin. That's the idea. I'm going to trot this nice run here. Obviously there's no casting involved, hence the pin. I'm no great caster with a pin. I can do a couple of fingers of line and cast it out, but that's about all. But here it's just a case of dropping off the rod tip. Plus also we've got trees above us, and my 15-foot rod, when I fished in here a couple of months ago, I struggled a little bit with these overhanging trees, so this only being 13 foot, perfect for in here. So yeah, I fancied having a go. I've got a load of mixed flavours and sizes of pellets in there just to keep feeding in, and a bag of luncheon meat, or in this case bacon grill. Got a little bait dropper there, which I can bait dropper a little bit of bait to the bottom if I want to, but I think I'm just going to sprinkle it in, to be honest. That's the plan. Simple as that. We're going to start in here. Hopefully we can get some fish going in here. Had a pretty good session in here last time, although the river is ridiculously low. It's ridiculously clear. I'm not sure I've ever seen it this low before. We really need some rain, but there's some on the way this week, so fingers crossed. I'll have the river up a little bit and hopefully get the fish in a bit of a feeder mood. Anyway, we're here now, so I'm going to trickle some bait in. Fingers crossed we can get some interest from some chub and put a nice little catch of fish together. Well, there's plenty of small fish moving down here. Not seen anything big yet, aside from a few shadows skulking over the far side there. There's a nice sort of deeper area on the inside here. You can probably see if I get out of the way. So this tree here, a little fast run and sort of deepens off. Water slows a bit. There's sort of bit of a slack in there, a bit of a backheady, tree roots. It's just a nice swim. Let's do a bit of trotting. We'll keep trickling the pellets in. We'll put a few bits of meat in as well. It's not ideal as a loose feed really, luncheon meat to throw in, because it just doesn't sink very quickly. I mean, that bit's just gone off down there 6 inches under the surface, and it's just still 6 inches under the surface. We'll trickle a few in there because it's not particularly deep, and it's only about 3 foot, something like that. Right, let's get this rod set up. So I'm not massively expectant this evening, I have to say. Hopeful more than expectant. It's not great conditions at all, but because we're fishing best part of the day, we're fishing in the evening, so we can certainly fish till we can't see the float anymore, should we wish. But hopefully we can have a few nice chub out, fingers crossed. So just to run you through the business end, I'm sure you know all about this if you've seen the previous videos down on the Y. But just to quickly run you through if you haven't, I've got a Drake alloy stem stick float on there, dome top, so it's nice and visible. That's 4 gram. And that's cocked with a 2 gram Olivettes there. Quick change matrix swivel. I'll put all the details of all that down, the information, all this stuff down there. And a Drennan Suplex Fluoro hook link, and a size 12 or 10. I think perhaps it's a 10. Drennan wide gate specialist hook. Simple as that. And we're going to run this down here with a bit of luncheon meat on, and hopefully catch some chub. That's the plan. Right, first cast. First swing out, I should say. Hopefully there's enough flow to pull this pin along. There is, just about. I should say I've not used this before, this pin or this rod. Although they're not new, I've had them quite a long time, just never got around to using them. So I thought they needed a bit of a christen. That's running through nicely actually. Now we can't run down too far because the chub are just going to head straight into those rushes on that opposite side, and we're going to have to stop them. So I'm certainly not going to be running down too far. We'll deepen up a little bit. We didn't drag under that time. Just keep deepening up a few inches at a time till we start dragging under. Well, hopefully we can have a couple of fish. That'd be nice. Christen the rod, christen the pin. Oh, it's tight in here with a 13-foot rod. Come on, chubbies. There's a chub over there, just come out of those, or two of them, just come out of those rushes as I cast in, and then they went back in again, as soon as they heard the plop. Fish in here certainly know they get fished for, that's for sure. They're not daft at all. Right, now we're starting to drag under. Yeah. Right, I think we found the depth. Previous run through. Let's just drop that down again. It's quite shallow in front of me here, and it just deepens off as it gets a few metres downstream. And that's where I would expect the fish to be, although there's some chub over there I can see, and a big old pike. Just scared one of them out. Anyway, should be watching the float, not the pike and the chub over there. Now the reason I'm fishing meat rather than perhaps maggots or bread is that there are so many small fish in here. If we fished maggots or bread or even worms, we're going to catch a lot of very small fish. And that wasn't the plan for this evening. Maybe we'll do that another day, but that's not this evening's plan. Well, it's not looking promising, is it? Blimey. I said last time I fished here it was a bite of chuck. This time it's no bites on any chuck. I just think that we really, really need some rain. Whet the fish's appetites. We're in. Wow. Oh, it's trying to get in there like I thought they would. Come on, out. God, blimey. Oh, I don't feel a bad one. Oh, I've never played a fish on this rod before. But we're in. Fab. Not in the flow now. We turned him. It's just in that slack on that other side. God, blimey. What a scrap. taking us on a tour of the swim. I was trying to get in there, of course, all the snags. Clearly a chub. Come on, got absolutely desperate to get up to my near bank. To all these tree roots that are down here. I think he might have succeeded. It's just a bit snarled up. I think we can get that landing net to him. Or has he come out? No. Yeah, we got him out. Oh, he's a nice fish. That's one way to christen the rod. Well, that is absolutely fantastic. God, what a scrap. What a fish. Wow. Wonderful. Well, with me with that. No wonder he gave us a scrap and a half. Well, that's about that. Proper unit. Just put him on the scales actually. And he's 4.7. I thought he looked about 4.5. Yeah, absolutely over the moon with that. That's really, really wonderful. Really wonderful. We've had to work for it. It's taken probably half an hour to get a bite. But what a bite and what a fight. Fab. Right, we won't keep him out, we'll get him back. What a scrap on the pin. No, we're not going to keep him now or anything. I'm just going to swim back in the net. Come on, out you go, mate. He's going to go off on his way. I'm not going to retain him. All right. Hopefully, as I say, we can have a few of them. That'd be fantastic. I'm sure it's not helped the swim putting him back. I'm not going to retain him. Hopefully he's gone back over there for a sog. But just as this swim goes around and then backs on itself across over near those reeds you can see on the left there, the yellowy lime green sort of reeds. Float had just come around into that. I just checked it and brought it round. There's a couple of rushes in the water actually, and I was just stopping it going around the back of there. I just checked it and brought it round into that slack on that opposite bank. Well, sort of back eddy, not really slack. Wow, we're properly losing the light now. Not a lot going on in here. I'm just bring for another walk, see if I can see any fish. I've not spotted anything. Anything above about 8 ounces anyway. Well, I've just bumped into my mate Ollie, who's fishing just upstream. Hopefully we can get another fish out. I'm going to leave it another sort of 10-15 minutes in here, I think. And then I'm going to perhaps move down around the corner, around there. It's another swim. It's quite a short run, but there's often some chub in there. We perhaps might do okay in there. Might perhaps nick a bite before we go home. But yeah, it's been tough going as suspected. Yeah. No, nothing doing. They're really, really not particularly interested today. But I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Been a bit of practice with the pin. Nice to christen the new gear. And what a fish to christen it on as well. Now I am planning on getting out again in the next few days back down the Avon. We are due some rain, so hopefully a bit of rain. Have the river coming up a little bit. Perhaps put a bit of an edge on these fish's appetites, because at the moment they just don't seem particularly interested at all. I know my friend Mick was down here this morning and he struggled. He had to cut the chub out in the end, but he was struggling as well. So I think we just need The rivers need a freshen up, don't they, and get the fish feeding. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, short but sweet. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your fantastic support, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.